Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday, Sunday edition. I'm Ron HD, and this week we watched the end of Evangelion. Now, telling you I'm a new Evangelion fan, I tell you I binge watched the entire series yesterday, and this whole thing was very strange, very weird. I liked it, but it was fucking bizarre. That's all I can tell you. Is this film was even weirder than the original ending. But before I go on a whole tangent about how weird and how much I liked this film and how weird it was, I'll tell you why and more back at the house. Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday, Sunday edition. I'm Restaurant Time HD, and this week we watched the end of Evangelion, of course, made by the creator of Neon Genesis Evangelion, Hideaki Anno, I believe that's how you say it, sorry if I say that wrong, and this film was released in 1997, and this is the first time it has been released in theaters in the States, which is pretty neat. And when I saw that ad, I thought, hey, I want to watch that movie, and I've heard good things about Neon Genesis Evangelion, so I thought, why don't I just watch the entire fucking show in one day, which is about 9 hours, so, yeah, I just sat there, woke up in the morning, about 10 hours, if you round it, but, about 10 hours, and I just sat there, and for like a whole day, I just kind of watched the entirety of Neon Genesis Evangelion, so I have it quite fresh in my memory, especially with this movie. Now, coming into this series and into the franchise as a new person, I have a lot to say, and again, have a lot not to say because these are new, and I don't really have, like, super in-depth analysis. I can't really get into it super hard. And overall, I enjoyed the show, I enjoyed the movie, and so I'm just going to get this right out of the way. I like both endings. Right, and by the way, massive spoilers for Evangelion, if you didn't know. This is like a 20-year-old, over 20 years old, over 20 years old show and movie, so you should probably go watch that and come back. You know, you've been warned. But yeah, the show's ending is a lot more existential. It's a lot more, well, obviously the new ending is also existential, but the old one's like existential, talks about, you know, feelings of depression, self-hatred, you know, stuff like that. That's like it's like a whole kind of character study of the main character, Shinji. Like a whole character study of, like 2 whole episodes of character study of him. And the other main characters too, but mainly him. And the movie, of course, is an alternate ending of the show, because when the show first came out, people did not like the original ending, so the creator was like, okay, you guys don't like it, well then I'll make a movie, and make it even just as fucking weird, I'll answer even less questions, and you guys it'll be even more confusing, you guys are gonna love it. Which is, I mean, I like both endings. I do think I kind of like the original a little bit more, but not too much more. I still like this ending too. I just kind of like the personable feel that the original ending has. But this ending, is insane. Like, just the entire second half. Like, the entire second half is just fucking weird-ass shit. The entire fucking time. And it just gets weirder and weirder, and it talks about, like, religion and, you know, gods and the end of the world, the end of humanity, this and that. At the end of the film, it also kind of, like, the world is, like, ended, kind of. Well, humanity's ended, not the world. The world is still there. But, like, the film also does kind of get into the psyche of Shinji still as well. But one thing I will say is that although I do know this, and I don't want to say this as I don't want to, like, offend anybody, but, like, Shinji, I can get annoyed by him sometimes. And the thing is, I get that he's sad. I get that he's going through all this stuff right now. Get he's just a kid. But still, dude, you gotta do something sometimes, you know? You gotta do something. And that's why I might like the original ending a little bit more, because he kind of evolves, you know? He evolves to the point where he becomes better, or at least he seems to be getting better, and he kind of, in my interpretation of the original ending, he kind of accepts himself for who he is, you know, and it seems like he might not hate himself anymore by the end of the original ending. But in this ending, it seems like he gets worse, right? It seems like he gets just even worse. He degresses, and it just ends badly, right? And I don't know. I just think some of the things he does in this movie are a little frustrating, you know, but obviously don't want to offend anyone. But then I'm going to get into this. There is a character, her name's Asuka. She is the worst. And when I tell you she is the fucking worst, she is so bitchy all the fucking time. She is super fucking annoying, and she never, she's always a bitch. She's always annoying, and I hate her. And I don't want to, right? I want to see her character get better, but she doesn't. Okay, I'm getting off track. So this movie is, as I said, weird. There's weird, if you don't know the character Ayanami, she's also one of the main trio from the show. There's a bunch of she turns into a giant white version of herself, and a naked white version of herself, and she's kind of a bringer of the end times, kinda. She merges with this the first angel. If you don't know what those are, look it up. I'm not gonna explain it to you. Adam, she merges with him, and then she goes up and she helps Shinji, and it brings about the third impact, which is the end of humanity as they know it. And she gives Shinji the decision, you know, do humans continue to be what they are? Do they continue to be humans living on Earth, or do they, you know, go off to another realm of existence, or another realm of being, kind of? And he chooses the end of humanity part, and it gets super weird, and then there's real life footage, and then there's a huge monologue from Ayanami talking to Shinji, I think. Then it gets into his head, and then he's talking to himself, and then eventually it's just him and Asuka just kind of laying there, and it's just everybody else is dead. And I kind of interpret it as that they might be the new age Adam and Eve, possibly. That's what it could be. But even the reason I brought up the Asuka stuff earlier is, even when they are the only two humans remaining on the planet, Asuka is still the worst. She's still the worst, and I don't know. I just find it funny at that point. I wasn't even annoyed. I think it was funny. But yeah, overall, the film was just very, as I said, I can't get it was just bizarre. I don't know how else to describe it. Just super weird, but it is what I expected, right? I expected it to be weird. I expected it to not really answer any questions. So I expected it to be weird, right? I didn't expect it to be super good at answering things. I expected it to be still pretty vague. I expected it to still be, you know, pretty mysterious and bizarre. But it just kind of continues the story that was going on as it was, instead of doing the whole character study thing that it did before. In summation, I do slightly prefer the original ending. Not saying that this one is worse or anything. I think they're both good, but I just slightly like the original ending better because of the whole personal feeling to it, and the study of it. I really liked that. It kind of felt like a video essay in a way. I don't know why. It was just very interesting, and it made you think. Obviously, this makes you think too, but it just really got really hit, and it was really cool. But overall, I did enjoy this movie, and as a new watcher, new viewer of this franchise, I'm going to try to watch other things. If they'll be just as good, if they'll share the same experience, I don't know. Will I be disappointed? Maybe. But overall, would I recommend this film? If you've seen Evangelion, yes. If you haven't, absolutely not. You will have no idea what the fuck is going on. which might make it funnier, but definitely not better as an enjoyable standpoint. I highly recommend you watch Neon Genesis first and then watch this. But if you've seen Evangelion and never seen this, I don't know why you haven't, but I would recommend it if you've seen Evangelion. And overall, I think I'd rate this 8 out of 10. Really enjoyable. Really liked it. Would recommend it if you've seen the show. And, yeah. I think I'm 7 minutes. I think I'm 7 piece. So, guys, if you like this video, share it with friends, subscribe, turn notifications on. Comment down below how much you liked it. But you guys know how it goes. I don't even say that. What I really meant to say was if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, discriminate, hate me in the comments. I've been Runtime HD, launching off. At least I got through that part. I don't know, I couldn't come up with anything else. What are you? You're not me. I'm me. You don't understand, boy. Dude, it seems like I was like some kind of poser when I walked into that theater, dude. There were people in like costumes and shit. There was like people who I guarantee were like maybe lifelong fans of this series. And I'm like, hey, I just binge watched the entire franchise last day, the night before. I think that's just funny.